Mr. Boston, I was in the care of a doctor and I suffered an injury. That's automatically going to be medical malpractice, right? I mean, I got an injury and a doctor was taking care of me and I think the doctor caused it. That's going to be automatic medical malpractice? Not so fast. Want to know what I'm getting at here? Stay with me as I share with you this very important information. Hello, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm a medical malpractice and childbirth injury attorney practicing law here in the state of Maryland, and I would like to quickly talk with you today about that question. If you've got a bad result and you have been in the care of a doctor or a hospital, is that automatically going to mean medical malpractice? Well, the short answer is no, it's not. A lot of things have to take place before you can have a viable medical malpractice case in the state of Maryland. Maryland law requires that you have to have an expert, a medical expert, who will go on record and give an opinion as to the standard of care owed to you in your particular procedure or whatever happened to you, whatever surgery or whatever was going on. You've got to have a medical expert who will say that during that procedure, the doctor fell below the standard of care owed to you, and by falling below that standard, that is what caused your injury. So a medical expert has to come to that opinion and has to come to that conclusion. If that is not present, then your case is more than likely you're not going to be successful. So hopefully you can see that you can have a bad result, and that bad result may not be due to a doctor falling below the standard of care. Let's be honest, surgeries are very, very serious. I mean, when we're talking about a surgery, it's serious. There's a lot of wear and tear that's going to be on the body. And sometimes things can happen during a surgery that lead to a bad result. And that does not necessarily mean that the doctors did something wrong. You can just have a bad result during a surgery. The second thing that I quickly want to talk about too, as to why you still may not have a valid medical malpractice or a good medical malpractice case, even though you may have an injury, is you have to also take another thing into consideration, and that is whether you will be upside down on your case. And when I say upside down, you may be saying like, well, what do you mean, Marcus? What you mean I might be upside down? Remember that when you're bringing a medical malpractice case, for the case, in my opinion, to be successful for you, you have to be able to recover more than you are going to spend out. So let's say hypothetically that you have a case that is worth $100,000, and I'm just throwing that number out there. Let's just say that with everything, once your lawyers figure out everything, lost wages, medical bills, and all of these other things that are going to be needed in the future, any type of future medical care, past care, all of these things. And when the number comes out at the end, you're looking at $100,000. But let's say that it costs you $80,000 to be able to get to that $100,000. And I'm saying $80,000 because I say you're going to need medical experts, you're going to have depositions, you're going to have filing fees, you're going to have all these things that are coming up that have to be taken care of when we're talking about cases like this. And let's say out of all of that, it comes up to about $80,000. Well, that means that you're going to spend a lot just to get that $20,000. And the question is will that be worth it? Or let's just say it's $100,000 and it costs you $150 to bring the case. So you see what the problem is? You have to make sure that all of these things are in order for you to have a valid or a good medical malpractice. You got to have that expert on board, and you've got to be able to make sure that the case is, you're going to be able to recover more than what you are putting in. If you have more questions about your injury, maybe you're watching this video right now because you have been in the care of a doctor or a hospital and you've suffered an injury, and you would like to know whether it's something that would be medical malpractice in the state of Maryland, or would a medical expert support your position as to your injury being caused by medical malpractice. If you have these types of questions, this is what I invite you to do. And remember, it costs you absolutely nothing to take this next action. And what is that action? To pick up the phone and give me a call. I can be reached at 301-850-4832. Or if you prefer, you can send me an email to medicalinjury@bostonlawllc.com. I answer Maryland medical malpractice and childbirth injury and wrongful death questions just like yours all the time. And I'll be happy to take some time to listen to your story. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys here at Boston Law Group, LLC, and we will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.